This one is actually officially taken down, but there are plenty of re-uploads of the standard animation, so don't worry. But keep in mind there are like 2 seconds of screen time for boobs, so be warned. Pitch puts us in the shoes of a guy who sees monsters, but there's also a pickpocket who steals a bunch of things, but is also dealing with some relationship issues and also has to deal with the demon thing. He slips and gets caught by a cop who chases him down. He eventually outruns him and finds that he picked his ex's purse, so he tries to bring it to her when the demon comes around and gets in the way. Then, once that is properly dealt with, the cop catches up and kicks him in the fucking curb. The pickpocket picks himself back up, wink, and waits until he sees his ex. He returns her bag and she learns to forgive, living happily ever after with each other, and even losing the ability to see monsters everywhere he goes. The story feels actually pretty self-controlled. A lot is established in about 12 minutes. The story doesn't feel like it was ever dragging on for too long, and the animation was able to place everything on the table without being too disorganized. As you can tell from my summarization, there's a lot going on here, so it makes it all the more impressive to see it so focused. Each one definitely gives a sense of purpose to the situation the main character is going through. The pickpocket definitely has a lot of problems, so this animation is meant to show a resolution, or at least a confrontation with this problem indirectly. More or less the effects of them. I also like the way he interacts with everything. With his ex, it's an actual conversation. With the demon, it's the demon talking to him with him being silent. The only interaction that doesn't really exist whatsoever was the cop. But the cop was really just meant to be an obstacle in his way rather than being a full character. Which is weird when the cop is shown to be a greedy, dirty cop rather than just an assertive one. First off, I don't get it. He probably gets paid a lot. He's a fucking FBI, most likely. Secondly, unless it's supposed to be subtle social commentary, which is what I'm expecting, this is such a random thing to have inside this animation. The only way this would make sense is that this was meant to kick him down when he already is, which is weird because this moment is brushed off as soon as it started. Even with the whole social commentary thing, it's pretty unfitting and inappropriate for this animation. Well, other than that, everything else about the characters are great, especially that ending. Probably the most satisfying note in a romance we'll ever get this month. The sound is pretty interesting. I love the little whoosh sounds on the pickpocketing, and the music is really good. Even the voices for all the characters are well chosen. Even the demon guy.
That's where you're wrong, boy. 'Tis I pulls the strings round here. And if you don't set me free, we're gonna have a problem.
The animation is very interesting. It has a lot of outlines with simple coloring over them. The style almost resembles adding frames in between storyboard frames. The style doesn't look lazy, however. It makes it more distinct than anything else. The animation does get a little confusing in some parts, but all in all, it's really good to look at. It's great. It's a nice story on love, sacrifice, grit, and even a little bit of bad habits. While you may seem like a bad person, you can always turn things around. It's just about whether you can feel yourself to move forward. You just gotta give yourself a little pinch.